In this episode, we talk about a fascinating lesson in LGBTQ history. All of this anti-queer legislation and rhetoric is pushing many Americans too far. Apparently, Elon Musk's kryptonite is a working vocabulary. Welcome to Full Circle, the podcast.
Coming to you from the dining room table at East Barbary Lane, welcome to a new episode of Full Circle, the podcast. A weekly visit to our home where we squeeze a few headlines through our decidedly queer lens and see what happens. This episode is brought to you by Decanted Jug Wine and the implosion of white nationalists across America. We're stronger than all y'all.
I am your host, Charles Tyson Jr.
And I'm your host, Martha Madrigal. Welcome to the Full Circle table.
Hi, baby.
Hi.
How are ya?
I'm good.
I'm saying how are you like we didn't just spend all the hours together.
Well, we did. We actually did today.
Right.
Today's our day. It is Sunday, June 25th. It is Pride Day in New York City. Hey, holla.
Hey.
I thought about it. I didn't plan, but I thought about it.
And what did you think?
I thought it was a goal for next year.
Okay.
Yeah, that we should start planning for in April.
Okay.
Yeah, but today is Pride in New York City because all the little prides are so brilliantly attended, and even Philadelphia's mock-up of a pride was fairly well attended. Nowhere near the numbers they're saying they were, but
right.
But you know, there was a crowd.
Yeah, if we're going to plan for New York, we got to plan for location and amenities.
Well, not. I mean, we get off the train, we go stand and watch the parade, and then we duck into a bar. We'll call our friend John.
Okay. Well,
he knows what corner to stand on. God knows.
That's kind of what I meant by location and amenities.
Yeah, mostly John. Yeah, if he's in town this year, I don't even know if he was in town. He travels a lot, but no. I mean, I've thought about it. But we had to go pick up a water heater and
all kinds of things.
Life got in the way. Yeah.
A little bit. Life was lifing.
A prescription. Yeah, we had to go do those things, fill the car with gas.
Right.
Yeah.
The unsexy stuff.
Right. Well, when we get one day together and some of it requires you. Yeah, that's how it goes. And then we went to Elizabeth is in her new home.
Yes.
And we took a little housewarming gift.
Yes, we did.
So we had to go do that. But we're back.
We are.
And we're home at the table.
We swam through the deluge to
oh my God, it was
speak to y'all again.
Pouring. We decided to leave right as it was pouring.
Yeah.
And yeah. It was, I mean, you know, I'm mostly dry now.
Right.
It's fine. It's fine. But yeah, there was a lot of rain all the way home, and like streets in South Philly were flooded. It's crazy.
It's true.
But Ruby made it through.
Yes, because Ruby is fabulous like that.
Ruby is fabulous. She's also low to the ground. I was worried, but it worked out.
Fair.
We're home. Car seems intact. We'll see if she starts tomorrow, but she seems
I'm
good.
sure she will.
She seems fine. Yeah, but I was surprised at, you know, how the streets just flooded. It was just it was like a flash flood.
It's been raining like crazy these past few days.
I lost a car once in Ocean City, New Jersey, because the water came up above, like to the windows. So this was nothing.
Wow.
Yeah. I mean, right. Like that was a flash flood. Like that was like, dear God. Like you just watched it happen inside of like minutes.
And sometimes it rained up.
And so yeah, it was insane. It was insane. It was my daughter's car, of course. The car, we watched from the front porch as the car filled with water because the street filled with water because everything filled with water inside of like moments. And there was just nothing to do and nowhere to go.
Damn.
So she got a new car out of it.
Right.
Yeah. She was like, I want a 4-door this time. And I'm like, okay. Because the little 2-door was just, flooded.
Permeable.
It was, it's crazy. Yeah. And I found out they total a car when it's flooded like that because of all the electrical system
right.
of a modern car. That it's like so much is under the seats and everything else that it corrodes and, the car's never the same. So we just confirmed that we will be on a panel for the Association of LGBTQ Journalists.
I know.
At their 2023 National Convention in Philadelphia. So that's cool.
I know. I'm so excited.
It's being held in September. Love that. I'm excited. I'm excited to meet, the folks doing the work.
Exactly.
And we can have a collective bitch fest.
We're media.
Well, we're media adjacent, at least.
Adjacent, hell, we're media.
Well, yeah, I'm commenting on them, but at least I try to be honest, which is more than Fox News ever did.
Sure, we'll get to that.
Anyway, that'll be fun. That's coming up in September. What else?
So this weekend, I got to work with Anne-Marie Mulgrew and Dancers Company. And it was a full circle moment, because I used to dance for Anne-Marie years ago. And
how many years ago?
Don't make me do math.
How many years ago?
20,
I'm going to go 20, yeah.
20 years
ago. That's what I was
ago.
going to say.
Damn, 20 years ago. And I've subsequently gone to Amdeco shows and... so I've been an audience member, I've been a performer, and then I got to do lighting design and sound and video for their show. And so now I've been on all aspects of the company, on stage, backstage, and in the audience.
And she gave us a lovely bottle of wine.
She did.
Well, you.
And a lovely card.
But I'm here, so she gave us a lovely bottle of wine.
Exactly. It was very sweet. She's always been a good gift giver.
Love it.
Yeah.
Love it. And we were on the Dustin Can Read and Watch podcast. That was fun.
We were, yeah.
Is that out?
Yes.
Okay.
That went out on Thursday.
All right.
Yeah, and it's a fun panel discussion.
Did we post a link?
We did.
Okay.
We did. If you check out our Instagram at Full Circle the Pod, you can check out the episode that we did. It was Dustin, of course, and us, and Cindy from Crime Diner podcast.
Which is a podcast. I adore the premise.
Right. And John from Life's But a Song.
There we go.
It was a fun, queer little conversation.
Discussion of pride, loosely.
Yeah, we talked about pride and identity and coming out stories, and then we talked about movies and TV and books, because that's actually the point of his podcast. So,
And we do all of those things.
It's true.
So,
it's true.
Yeah. It was good. It was fun.
It was fun.
I actually did that on that was like a Monday night we recorded. I managed to do that. I'm just patting myself on the back for that.
You did a whole day and then recorded an episode.
That was and I'm coherent.
Yeah.
Which, wow.
You weren't 100% sure you're going to be able to do it up until hitting record.
I wasn't sure I was going to be awake.
Exactly.
But it worked out.
It did.
Yeah, that was fun.
So we have a Google and a half of good news.
A Google and a half?
A Google and a half.
What does that mean? Is Google a number?
Google is actually 1 followed by 100 zeros.
That's a Google?
That's a Google.
We don't have that many.
We don't.
We don't have that many.
I was exaggerating.
Oh, okay.
But we do have a lot of...
I see a list that I have to scroll.
Right.
A couple times to get to the end of, but I don't think it's as many as you said.
No. So...
You want to do good news?
This first story comes to us from longtime listener and friend, Sean. Hey, Sean.
Hey, Sean.
Sean likes to send us little interesting tidbits of news here.
She is very good at combing the news.
It's true. This comes from the BBC. Druid Heights, the U.S.'s hidden LGBTQ plus community. I'm filing this under, damn it, I was born too late, yet again.
I would argue you weren't, but okay.
In 2022, nearly 800,000 people from around the world visited Muir Woods National Monument just north of San Francisco, California.
M-U-I-R.
Yes.
Woods.
Muir.
That.
to marvel at the groves of towering redwoods among the tallest and oldest trees in the world. But just a mile and a half from the park's entrance in a separate part of the park, another significant site remains largely unknown, despite its prominent role in LGBTQ+ and counterculture history. So basically, in this national park in San Francisco, like there's a separate entrance to the park, and there's like this total artistic community in the woods amongst the trees, and all of these like artistic figures and tastemakers, they all spent time, living there and communing together and, writing and making music and making art. And
so this place is called Druid Heights.
Yes.
A bohemian community. Some consider the U.S.'s only LGBTQ+ historic district. I mean, we got a lot of neighborhoods. Founded in 1954 by lesbian poet Elsa Gidlow and builder Roger Summers, Druid Heights became a cultural hub that profoundly influenced a multitude of culture currents during its 30-year heyday, from gay liberation and radical feminism to Zen Buddhism. A West Coast version of the Hotel Chelsea or Algonquin Round Table. Those are high standards to live up to.
Indeed.
18 architecturally distinctive buildings hidden in the woods were home, school, workshop, and intellectual incubator to an eclectic circle of leading alternative thinkers of their time. This is so interesting.
Mm-hmm.
From the beatnik poets and philosophers of the late 50s through the psychedelic and spiritual exploration of the 60s and early 70s to the gay liberation, radical feminism, and gender politics of the late 70s and early 80s. Okay. A host of luminaries were drawn to the site. Allen Ginsberg, Gary Snyder, Neil Young, Dizzy Gillespie, Fleetwood Mac, Lily Tomlin, Tom Smothers, Catherine McKinnon, Margot St. James.
Right. And I was thinking about this. It's like, we feed the trees, we give them our carbon dioxide so they can give us oxygen. Those trees were fed on Dizzy Gillespie and Allen Ginsberg. You know what I mean? It's like, that's so cool.
And Alan Watts was a British former Episcopalian minister, often credited with popularizing Buddhism and Taoism in the West. He gave public teachings, wrote 6 of his seminal books in his library on the property, died there in 1973. I'm trying to get to what the hell happened to it. It was a hotbed of creative fulfillment and a place that people felt safe. And when you think about the world today, the need for places where people feel safe is so important. I agree. From this wooded community came books of leading feminist and lesbian thought. It was before Charfism, I assume.
Right.
Or at least walked around it. Pulitzer Prize-winning poetry, provocative experimental films, recordings of genre-bending jazz, and numerous groundbreaking philosophical and spiritual treatises. The Watts book, The Way of Zen. Gidlow's 1975 book, Ask No Man Pardon.
So Watts, Gidlow, and Summers all died on the property, and all but a few of the buildings are abandoned. And, wear and tear. Preservationists have been trying to pressure the National Park Service to restore them and open the site to visitors.
Yeah.
But apparently little action has been taken, and most of the buildings are now dilapidated.
But it doesn't say, who turned the lights out on the way out the door? I'm looking for that.
Well, the people that kept it going are the ones that passed.
They passed.
Right.
Okay, so once they died, everybody kind of dissipated?
Mm-hmm.
This is interesting.
Right.
Interesting. So there are folks who would like to at least preserve it as a place to visit?
Yes.
So I guess right now you're just kind of walking past some dilapidated buildings that the forest is slowly taking back.
Right, exactly.
What's the good news? That it was?
That it existed.
Okay. I'll take that.
Yeah. I mean, I didn't know where else to put it because, yeah, it's not exactly good news, but it's very interesting.
That is interesting. I've never heard of it before.
Me either.
I didn't know that it was a thing.
How cool is that?
Yeah, I learn something new every day.
But that's what I mean. Like all the cool stuff like that,
it
happened.
It did happen. Our friends got to spend a weekend at the Chelsea Hotel recently, which
They
I thought
did.
was fabulous, and took lots of pictures.
It was like, breathe deep, y'all.
I know, right? That's so cool that you can still go there and stay there, and it's a thing.
Yeah. All the energy, the collective energy from that space, man.
Well, it sounds like this, too.
Right, exactly.
How cool would it be if someone,
Well, that's what I'm saying. Like, the very trees are composed in part by those individuals.
Yeah. Yeah. All these billionaires that spend money on ridiculous things. Somebody throw some money toward those.
Exactly.
Yeah, but that's not how they're throwing their money. So.
No, it is not.
Yeah. So, what's next? Congress is reintroducing stuff. I mean, it's not going to get past Congress because stuff.
Right.
Yeah, because that's where the Republicans have a slim margin of control, but they are reintroducing these things. The Equality Act, the sweeping LGBTQ plus rights bill have both been reintroduced in Congress. The act would outlaw anti-LGBTQ plus discrimination nationally, and it comes at a time of unprecedented state-level attacks on the community. Everyone who keeps saying Biden isn't doing enough.
Right.
I need everyone to go take a civics class and understand this is actually how laws are made and this is how it all works. The president can't just, by edict, tell all of the states what not to do. I mean, the Supreme Court kind of can, like they did in Roe v. Wade until a different Supreme Court. So because that was never codified into law, it was able to be erased. So the proper channel would be through Congress and the Senate, and then the president signs it. Remember, I'm just a bill.
Right.
Yes, I'm only. Remember Schoolhouse Rock? I
do.
Yeah, I wish more people would have seen it.
It's on on Disney Plus.
Yeah, because the bitching is annoying the fuck out of me. Come on, people. This is he can do so much. I mean, and he has done a lot in terms of a sitting president actually speaking the notion that we exist and we don't deserve the discrimination. That in itself is historic.
Yeah.
Do we want more? Of course we do. Does it feel like enough? Of course it doesn't.
It's never going to feel like enough. That's the thing.
This is how it gets done. And so this is the problem with the Republicans even having a slim margin, because the chances that national Republicans are going to cross the aisle to vote in favor of common sense, even when a majority of voting Republicans suggest that's exactly what they should do, probably not going to happen.
Right.
I mean, so it's good news that it's back up, and being talked about. And may we all learn about how the government works. It would amend existing civil rights laws to explicitly prohibit discrimination based on sexual orientation and gender identity in employment, housing, public accommodations, and education, federally funded programs, credit, and jury service. It would also prohibit discrimination on the basis of sex in public accommodations and federally funded programs, and expand the definition of public accommodations in the Civil Rights Act of 1964. Which Title IX kind of does, but it's a thing that's up for interpretation, and that's the whole point.
Right.
It did pass the House in 2019 and again in 2021 when the Democrats were in control, but stalled in the Senate. It's a successor to the more limited Employment Non-Discrimination Act, ENDA, which was never passed by both houses of Congress in the same session and thus never became law. The Equality Act's fate remains uncertain in this session as Republicans have a slight majority in the House, although Democrats control the Senate and President Biden has endorsed the bill. But supporters are hopeful. In the House, it was introduced by members of the Equality Caucus, Chair Mark Pocan and co-chairs Mark Takano, Angie Craig, Sharice Davids, Chris Pappas, Richie Torres, Becca Balint, Robert Garcia, and Eric Sorensen. Senators Tammy Baldwin, Cory Booker, and Jeff Merkley introduced the companion bill in their chamber. All are Democrats.
There you go.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, there was a press release, good quotes, nice words. Yeah. Okay. I mean, good. But this is the thing. What else can they do? You know, when you have Republicans who vote in lockstep, and they don't give a fuck if their own kids are trans or queer. They don't care. So, you know.
They've said as much.
It probably doesn't have a shot in hell. But, yeah. There have been more than 525 anti-LGBTQ bills introduced this year in the states. More than 220 of those bills target the transgender community specifically, many targeting children. More than 75 of those bills have now become law. Now, they're all getting shut down in court eventually. But, the fallout, of course, is devastating. In the meantime, people are moving. People are frightened to death. People are not accessing their health care. It's, it's horrible, ugly shit. And, yeah, we should have a federal law. Will we get there? I doubt it. Lambda Legal did applaud the reintroduction of the Equality Act because they're tired.
Right.
It would be clear, comprehensive, and explicit protection for LGBTQ plus people. Yeah. I'm glad it's back up for discussion. I doubt it's going anywhere. Because this is the Republican way. They are determined to march over that cliff. They don't give a shit about their own voters. They have decided. First of all, not only are they pandering to the fringe of their fringe,
mm-hmm.
but they've only, it seems at this point they've only elected the fringe of their fringe because there are no leaders within that party.
Exactly.
I mean, DeSantis wants to think he's one, as does, what's his name? Our former governor, Christie.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, not leaders. Never leaders.
No.
Never were. Won't be. Pandering fools. Bullshit. And,
nonsense.
And nonsense. So I'm glad. Yeah, okay, good news. Reintroduced. If a few Republicans would grow a spine and actually vote a conscience, if there's one left in their party,
that'd be nice.
It'd be cool. Yeah, because we know if it goes to the Senate, it will pass, and if it goes to the president's desk, he will sign it. And that's how laws are made, folks. Schoolhouse Rock. What's next?
Schoolhouse Rock. Florida's drag ban blocked by judge in Hamburger Mary's case. Ha ha.
Yeah. Yep.
So a federal judge in Orlando on Friday temporarily blocked a Florida law widely seen as an attack on drag. Mm-hmm. That's the second major loss in court for Governor DeSantis this week, coming days after another judge struck down the state's ban on Medicaid coverage of gender-affirming care.
Right. Like I said, it's the shit is losing in court, even among conservative judges.
Yep.
But it's got to get to court, and that's a shame.
Right. All that time, effort, and money.
Yeah, your lawmakers are supposed to be working on your behalf. Stop electing fools who don't represent you.
Right.
Civics.
That's all.
Okay, so anyway. Struck down. Of course, the legal team that represented the Florida restaurant was the same one that won a ruling against a drag ban in Tennessee earlier this month.
Right.
Yeah, I love that. The laws are unconstitutionally vague, overbroad, clearly targeted, and the judge's orders reflect that. DeSantis is a piece of shit.
That part.
All the bullshit he's doing is ugly, not based in reality, certainly not based on science, and it's meant to target folks and be harmful. That's all. I mean, what else I got?
Exactly.
I get so tired of talking about this shit.
I know. I wish.
I hope. Yeah. I feel like sometimes. What is this? Episode number 78.
79.
79. Okay, so this is episode 79. If this feels repetitive in any way to you, imagine being me.
Right, exactly.
That's all I got. Because, yeah, I mean, we got to talk about this shit, but we have to talk about the other side of this shit. We have to talk about the reality on the ground. You know, the good and the bad, because there is also good. And because it is dire in some places, but it is not constitutional.
Right.
And
never
this
was.
is why, children, voting matters.
That part.
Anyway, what else we got? Why is there a what?
There's a huge pink triangle over San Francisco.
Wasn't there always?
An actual one, not a metaphorical one. So, San Francisco activists.
I feel like there's a big pink triangle over this house.
Well, for 28 years have a tradition of unfurling a giant pink triangle across San Francisco's Twin Peaks viewpoint. It's even more prominent this Pride season because this year's triangle, made of cloth and canvas and festooned, I love that word, festooned with pink lights at its edges, oh God, it lights up too, is nearly an acre long and can be seen 20 miles away.
Good. Good.
The larger triangle honors the constant vitriol and legislative attacks against LGBTQ plus people, from boycotts of pro-LGBTQ plus marketing campaigns to Florida's Don't Say Gay law, to bans on gender-affirming care occurring from Missouri to Montana.
And you know what this reminds me of?
What?
The TERFs. So we need to remember, and the pink triangle, as many will recall, was the symbol sewn onto the uniforms of the gay men put into concentration camps, many who were exterminated.
Yes.
That is the history of the pink triangle. It really came back into prominence during the AIDS crisis.
ACT UP.
Yeah, ACT UP pulled it back out and dusted it off because everyone else was dusting it off, including St. Reagan.
Right.
So we did too. We need it. We need to see it. We need to remember what that was and what it meant and that we died.
Yeah.
And I only say that because we were talking about it earlier. You know, there are a couple of lesbians who I saw as, you know, brilliant elders and had such deep respect for, and they're fucking TERFs now.
Yeah.
For some reason, they want to take us all back to being defined by our genitals. Everything they fought for, they now I guess, stand for. Like, I cannot make sense of their logic because there is none. And yet, they're so goddamn smart, they're stupid.
It's like almost like Stockholm Syndrome?
Something like that.
I don't know.
Something like that. Because, yeah, trans men are somehow taking away lesbians. Not. And trans women, I don't know. I don't know. We were, you know, I'm talking about people who I thought were good friends who I idolized. And it's just, it disgusts me. So we do need a big fucking pink triangle over San Francisco because our own are trying to eat us.
Yeah.
And I'm so tired.
Yeah.
What's next? And this is good news, folks. Wait till we get to the rest.
I know, right?
No, I am not trying to be in a bad mood. I'm not.
So Starbucks employees are now going on strike nationwide after the controversy surrounding Pride decorations in Starbucks locations.
Okay. What is the controversy?
There are a series of allegations that Starbucks banned Pride decorations in stores during Pride Month.
Oh.
There were videos of...
Starbucks is going the way of Target?
Sure.
Our Target, by the way, has the Pride display right as you enter the front door.
It's true.
Just thought I would point that out. It's there. It's still there. It's always been there. It never was taken down.
Exactly.
And, you know, the swimwear, etc., is available.
Sequins and leopard print everywhere.
No. That was another display. But the Pride display had, yeah.
Right. I'm just saying there were sequins and leopard print.
There was that too.
Yes.
Yeah. I don't know that was part of the Pride display. It was cute though.
Everything behind that rainbow counts, damn it.
Okay. But again, it was as we entered the store.
Right.
It has been there and stayed there, and it's there. So yay, because we're that's my drugstore too.
Right, exactly.
And it's most of the time it's my grocery store. I'm still not happy with them.
Yeah, but at least on a small level.
But I'm just, yeah. You know, and it's the conversation I have with one of my clients who is like, I want you to meet, and this is a challenge, this is a stretch, and I feel like I have to do it. But what my client said was, I want you to meet the franchisees who own the local Chick-fil-A's, who are really supportive of Pride and who really, you know, don't subscribe to any of the bullshit at all, and are good to their employees, etc., and hire a lot of queer folks, and you need to meet them. And, you know, I'm not going to spend money there. I'm still not going to spend money there probably, but I feel like I should.
I mean, it's subversive.
I feel like I need to know my neighbors, you know, and I feel like we have to break the logjam in whatever way we can. You know, and when one of my kids comes to me and says, these people aren't the company that, you know, that they own a franchise, but the way that they operate their franchise is nothing like the ugly history of the Cathy family. And I was like, you know what? I'm here to listen to you. I'm here to listen to you. Because I don't know. What would I know of the local franchisees or franchisors, whatever they are? What would I know? Because I don't go there. I'm making a tiny bit of room.
Well, you can do that. Because
I didn't say I was going to buy a sandwich. Yeah. I said...
No, I heard you.
You know, again, we want them to see nuance. We want the world to understand nuance, right? We want the world to understand, you know, medically, trans people. You don't have any business talking about our treatments, our you know, medically necessary gender affirming care. We can make anything sound ridiculous if we talk about it at its base, including like your breast augmentation or your nose job or your eye lift or your hair transplants or your penile implant. I mean, we can go on and on. But maybe this is a place where I should pay attention. Because someone that I'm working with, who I care about, who is really smart, said, you know, there's more to the story on a local level. So I will try. Anyway.
All that to say, Starbucks.
Well, because I'm sitting here defending our local Target, and I'm like, Chris Rock is playing in my head, like, situational. You know, like, and I'm like, well, is it? Maybe. And I don't mean to be a hypocrite, so I will hear out, folks. I mean, they're still making money. They're still sending money to the people that are sending money to the... Like, Uganda is happening because of the money Chick-fil-A... Is it Uganda?
Yes.
Yeah. That all is happening because Chick-fil-A was so deeply involved and had such deep pockets getting involved in their government so that, you know, queer people are now sentenced to death. That's also that brand.
Right.
So I would not own a Chick-fil-A franchise personally.
Well, that's my whole thing. It's like, okay, fine. You're hiring queer people and you're doing things for queer people, but you're doing it all with blood money. Back
to why we need the pink triangle. So what is Starbucks doing? I didn't mean to go off on it too much. So let's.
You went off on 3 tangents. I want to point that out.
I think I did. Yeah, I'm like a word salad,
simultaneously and together.
But, you know, I know how things go together. So let's keep going.
I mean, you were still amazingly on point. So,
but I'm just saying, right? So okay, so Starbucks.
So there were videos allegedly of store managers taking down Pride decorations.
Wow.
Yeah. And
because people might be mad and we just want to sell coffee,
I guess.
So sorry about you all.
Right. And there have
you
been...
faggots are just going to have to deal.
There have been several...
Have you met a straight barista? I'm sorry. I'm done. Have you?
I don't think so.
Me either. Go ahead.
There have been several employees who quit behind that.
Good on them.
So, about 3,500 workers from more than 150 stores are going to be striking. And it's being spearheaded, of course, by the chain's Seattle roastery location. Strike with pride is their battle cry.
Good. It's, everybody wants to make shit complex. I mean, there is nuance, but it's really not so complex. You stand with us or you don't. And that means when things get hard, honey.
Right. Well, Starbucks said the reports were, quote, false information. There has been no change to any policy on this matter, and we continue to encourage our store leaders to celebrate with their communities, including for U.S. Pride Month in June, except they weren't by taking the shit down.
Well, right. Then you would leave it up, right?
Right.
I'm confused.
If corporate, I thought the way this worked was, if corporate has a rule, then that goes across all stores. Personal, preferences and tastes and things
Right, and I'm not necessarily saying we should be a rule, but if you put it up and then you worry and then you take it down, now you're less than worthless.
Right.
Because now you're saying the value of our lives, our dignity, our self-respect is dependent upon your comfort level.
Right.
Jesus fucking Christ.
That part.
I'm for you as long as it costs me nothing.
Right.
Literally.
We want
nothing.
Justice. We want equality. We don't want to be inconvenienced in any way whatsoever.
Right. So we'll hang the rainbows. Hell, we printed off the rainbows, but a couple of people might have, I don't know, got loud about that.
Right.
Like, we don't want to offend anyone.
Right.
Oh, honey, life is offensive.
Word.
My life continues to be offensive. Am I supposed to stop living it?
Because guess what? Nope.
I'm just okay. Let me go sit over there.
Right.
That's not going to happen. I was this good news? Oh, because the people are standing up.
Yes.
Okay. I'm just trying to keep it. Yeah. All right. So folks are standing up and striking.
Yes.
And saying, fuck you, Starbucks.
Right.
As they should.
Exactly.
Because Starbucks is,
Supposed
doing the Budweiser, doing the Anheuser-Busch Target thing.
Right.
We're with you as long as it's easy.
Exactly.
And profitable.
We'll throw money at your little pride parades, but don't ask us.
And
to
how would
do
it not
something.
be profitable? Really? Just because these people are loud does not mean they are an economic bloc.
Exactly.
You'll find out.
Mm-hmm.
You'll find out who the economic blocs are.
I'm sorry. If the queers stop going to Starbucks, honey.
And not just the queers, but all the queer adjacent.
Right. That's a lot of...
Who, by the way, I expect to get your coffee elsewhere.
That's a lot of grande ventis, soy, mocha, loca, choca.
Shove it up your ass.
That
Yes,
you're
it
not
is.
going to sell anymore.
Right. And I got to tell you, right-wingers, they are not so much with the latte. Not your demographic. Never were. Never were.
And definitely not a mocha
It's
latte.
the sign of woke, right? Yeah, mocha. That's too much like mixing the races. Don't you think?
Can I get one of them there miscegenation beverages?
Right? I want a high yellow coffee. Like, how do they even order? Right. I don't know. Give me a Redbone Grande.
Grande Redbone. Oh shit.
Not their demographic was my point. My overall point stands. Yeah.
Oh God.
Not the people you need to. Not the folks you should be capitulating to at all, ever. And that goes for Target too. Anyway.
So keeping with the theme of standing up for what's right.
Oh, I love this. I love every time a pastor walks out of a church.
Yes.
What happened?
Pastor walks out after a Christian Reformed Church synod.
Mm-hmm. A synod is the correct word, yes.
Okay.
It's a big group of.
Passes an anti-LGBTQ plus resolution.
Or governing body of, yeah.
Oh, okay. Yeah. Gathering of church officials and delegates. Yes.
That's what I said.
Yeah, exactly. So the Christian Reformed Church passed a resolution.
What is Christian Reformed Church? What the fuck is that even anyway?
That's a good ass question.
Like, that's not Presbyterian, because I know what that is.
Right.
Anyway, keep going. Established in 1920, whatever.
So they passed a resolution condemning gays and lesbians and requiring them to confess it as a sin, as well as requiring members to oppose same-sex marriages to remain a member.
Wow.
One pastor gave a short, impassioned speech before walking out.
Good.
Delegate Dave Stroik from Grand Rapids, Michigan, announced to the group that he was leaving to protest, quote, on behalf of the pain that was caused to many LGBTQ plus people.
Thank you.
And one of those people was his son.
There we go.
Stroik had joined delegates from other congregations to delay a church resolution that it is deeply unpopular with younger members.
Of course it is.
And actively condemns LGBTQ plus members.
Fuck off.
Right. This dramatic change in church policy has been protested in Canada and the United States. Delegate Heidi Sitsema said, if you actually listen to so many of the kids like I have listened, you will hear that we need time and space to work this out in a gracious way. Isn't that all we ask?
No, I want more than gracious. I want more than whatever she just said. Why haven't you worked it out in a gracious way up until now?
Well, that's what I'm saying.
We have been here the whole time y'all have.
That's my point.
As long as you existed, so have we.
Right.
And you're just now getting around to maybe there is less money in the collection. Yeah, like, let's work this out in a gracious way. Why don't you go work yourself out in a gracious way and let us know when you're done? How about that?
Right.
I'm supposed to wait for you to get with what? Christians are exhausting.
So Stroik said that he changed his position on LGBTQ plus people when his son came out 12 years ago. And as the church debated, he saw his son's post on social media that accused his lifelong church of a, quote, complete lack of empathy.
Correct. His son's right.
Yeah.
They have no empathy because they're, this whole Christ thing that they, purport.
So he walked to the podium and said, because of the message we sent to many LGBTQ plus people, including my son, I will be leaving Synod in protest. And with that, he walked out the door.
Good
work. So yeah, this is what we need. We need people to actively,
Yeah, enough people agreed with him that they formed a line to give him a hug.
Yep.
I'm not doing this for attention. What's hard is the sense that a group at a synod wasn't really open to deliberation. And again, how dare you think you get to deliberate our lives?
Right.
Who do you think you are?
Right.
You're not the Christ.
Damn it.
Wow. Yeah. I wanted to be a voice for the voiceless. No, thanks. It's not that we're voiceless, honey. It's that they don't talk to us. Nobody from the LGBTQ community has had the opportunity to express their reaction to what Synod decided. Exactly. Yeah, right. Another group destined for the dustbin of history. Good.
Exactly.
This one I thought was actually kind of interesting. There was a newsroom staff who revolted against their managers because they told them to cover fewer Pride events. Wow. A local TV newsroom is facing a staff revolt over guidance about covering Pride events in June. The all-staff memorandum distributed Tuesday instructed reporters and producers to cover fewer Pride events and also to get both sides of the issue. Fuck you. There are not two sides to my life.
That part.
There's your bullshit misperception that you have a say in my life and my life. Right. That's what there is. Those are the two sides.
Right.
You're a fucking moron and I'm over here trying to live. There's your two sides.
Exactly.
The memo from management at Wood TV, Channel 8 in Grand Rapids, Michigan is just all over the place, was shared with the Detroit Free Press and went on to say that the station had heard, quote, pushback from viewers who were not happy to see those Pride-related stories. Adding, while you personally may not agree with a certain position, people are entitled to their opinions and they are our viewers. Staff was outraged, and rightly so. at the notion public opinion should guide news coverage.
Right.
Walter Cronkite knew better.
It's true.
This memo was met with immediate pushback from our newsroom, posted Luke Steyer, an executive producer at the station. The guidance is not being followed. Well, good. But somebody thought it was a good idea. Did we get rid of that person?
Right.
News anchor Michelle DeSelms wrote, our newsroom immediately stood up to the two managers, who should be unemployed, who wrote a memo mandating that we cover the other side of Pride events. There is no fucking other side. The other side is who we were throwing shit at. That's the other side of Pride.
Right. It's not a fucking debate.
Yeah, the people who put our names in the newspaper, the people who fired us, the people who degraded us, the people who threw us out of our houses, those people. That is who, yeah, that's the other side of Pride.
Right.
There's the other side.
Right.
An unnamed source at the station confirmed news director Stanton Tang was one of the individuals responsible for the memorandum. Reached by phone, Tang would neither confirm nor deny he was an author of the guidance. Oh, honey, why not stand up for it loudly? Why not? When asked which managers wrote the memo, he referred LGBTQ Nation to the station's general manager, Julie Brinks. A call to Brinks and a request for comment went unanswered.
Of course it did.
On Friday, she released a statement that Wood TV is committed to diversity, equity, and inclusion and to covering and reporting the news of the day in an expansive and inclusive fashion consistent with these values. She said the station's owner, Nexstar, will take appropriate action as necessary to address this situation, and we apologize for offending members of the LGBTQ community and Wood TV viewers. The ham-fisted attempt to impose opinions from both sides on the station's Pride coverage also earned a response from the Nexstar Media Group. Quote, the communication regarding the station's coverage of Pride Month activities in the area is not consistent with Nexstar's values, the way we cover the news, or the respect we have for our viewers, said Gary Whiteman, Executive Vice President of the Texas-based media company. I'm not hopeful here. Whiteman apologized for offending members of the LGBTQ community and Wood TV's viewers and pledged to take appropriate action as necessary to address this situation.
Okay, white man.
I'm just looking.
Your name is literally white man.
I'm looking to say our staff is united in pushing back. All right, were these two dudes fired? Were they? Were they? Oh, wait, the story's over. We'll never know. Probably not. Because nobody gets fired for this shit.
Right.
Rarely. Not when it's the queers. Still.
It's true.
Happy Pride.
Bitches.
You know what I want to move on to?
What?
People taking pleasure in your pain.
Not a bad idea.
Thanks.
These are good.
They are good.
So the White House mocks Fox News with Pride cupcakes. So the White House has been highlighting the reckless, quote-unquote, reporting by Fox News regarding the White House Pride Month celebration on the South Lawn earlier this month. The far-right network recently ran a story critical of the flag flown during the celebration, calling the Progress Pride flag one that celebrates, quote, groomers and pedophiles.
Wow.
And of course...
And that's your audience.
Right.
The groomers and pedophiles are right over there, folks.
It's true. And of course, the story received immediate backlash. Some pointed out that Fox Corp, the parent company of Fox News, itself changed its corporate logo to resemble the Progress Pride flag in a recent report about corporate inclusivity.
Yeah, okay. What? Now see, if there really was a God, lightning, thunder, people would catch fire. People would just catch fire.
Right.
George Santos, gone.
Exactly.
DeSantis, poof. Fuck, George Bush would have never had a second term.
I know that's right.
I'm just saying, like, if there, yeah.
But here's where it gets good. On Friday, White House Deputy Press Secretary Andrew Bates shared an image of multicolored cupcakes with the Progress Pride flag printed on frosting.
Nice.
The tweet said, "Cupcakes in solidarity with Fox Corp, which Fox News is attacking with a malicious, still not retracted digital article."
Mm-hmm.
Bates sent a subsequent tweet showing him delivering cupcakes to the Fox News booth at the White House press corps workspace. He tweeted, "We delivered some to the good folks in the Fox News offices here at the White House." Of course, he's been critical of Fox News since the network ran that false and inflammatory headline that it has since changed after he exposed the network's hypocrisy. The original headline of the Fox News article read, "White House flew controversial new transgender flag that promotes grooming and pedophilia."
Wow.
Say critics.
Wow.
The White House itself has demanded a retraction.
Good.
Yeah.
Good.
Here's some cupcakes, y'all.
They should just, it's like if you're not even a news organization, why are you still in the press room? And they're not a news
Thank you.
organization. Why are they still there?
They long ago had to say that they're entertainment, not news.
So what are you doing in the press room?
That's a
what I
good
wanna
ass
know.
question.
Wanda Sykes ain't in there.
Exactly.
Why are they?
And she's more qualified.
to be there.
Thank you.
Than all of them combined.
Exactly.
But she ain't there.
Right.
So I'm just saying. If it's
So moving on. Do you remember last week when we talked about the Pride celebration and the two yahoos were out there protesting and they were the only ones and no one paid attention to them and they gave up and went home?
in Pittman? That story?
Yeah.
Two yahoos with a printed banner, and they kept trying to at least get the pickup trucks to be
right
with them, and no one did.
Yes.
And they were trying to engage families, and everybody's like, pfft, as
yes.
they walked past with their kids dressed in rainbows. And they finally gave up and went home.
Yes. So
the two boys.
This
left.
is
I think dejected.
This is the same idea, except this one's for the ladies.
Go ahead.
So anti-trans activists tried to hold a big protest, but only 2 people showed up.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Big turf conference.
Of two.
I wonder how many Moms for Liberty, by the way, are showed up.
Exactly.
Isn't there a conference in Philly right now? Or this week? Or this coming week?
Oh, I thought it happened already, no?
It was the end of this month, and we're at the end of this month. I'm busy, so I don't know, but we were working with the library and talking to them and talking to some of the artists involved, and
right.
So I don't know where it all landed, but I'm just wondering if anybody bothered, because Philly is the city of fuck around and find out.
That part, literally and actually, that's where that came from.
Yeah, when conservatives come here and yeah,
so a big department store.
More later. I feel like this is in the UK because it's Primark, I believe.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. So a department store pride campaign highlighting chosen families sparked a alleged protest because the international chain Primark uses the term found families to describe a group of people who have chosen to embrace, support, respect, and love each other despite their differences. Mm-hmm. Defined by the mutual love, respect, and support given to all members of the family unit, a found family is more than just a concept. It can provide a lifeline for members of the LGBTQI+ community who may have faced rejection from their biological family. Well, the group Standing for Women.
Yeah, okay.
Unless
you're this kind of woman over here, in which case they're not standing for me.
But they couldn't take it, and so they said, we're going to go and protest this pride celebration. Yes, we are.
I saw the picture.
There
both of them.
I mean, they were standing.
They were, and there were 2 of them.
Yeah.
Literally 2.
There was that turf.
And then there were...
and then the other one.
Right. And then there were multiples of hundreds of counter-protesters, I believe.
Yes.
Uh-huh. Uh-huh.
Yes.
Talk about an unpopular opinion.
Exactly. I mean, you get props for showing up, I guess. I don't know. Yeah, there was 2 of you. You suck at organizing is all I'm saying.
Or what you're organizing around is something no one else actually gives a shit about. And
Like, even the people on your side aren't on your side.
do you think there's
two
any
of you.
self-reflection when you're one of two people facing 200 or more people? Do you think there's any self-reflection, like maybe we're wrong here?
God,
do you think
I hope
that
so.
ever happens?
I hope so. I doubt it,
But,
I hope so.
I bet that was mighty uncomfortable, and that's why it's here in this segment.
Exactly. So that brings to an end one of our favorite segments, which we like to call
Schadenfreude. People taking pleasure in your pain.
So, before we go to break, do you have a 15-minute piece?
I Do.
Would you like to share it?
I would. So I finally got to listen to the new Janelle Monáe album. And good Lord, if spending the bulk of your time fucking every girl you see on a big pile of money on an island had a sound, it would be this album.
Okay.
The whole album is about how, she likes women and women like her, and sometimes they like to like each other, and here's several songs telling you how, and also we have money because we're fabulous at the same time.
What is the song called?
This one sums up the general theme of the album. It is called Lipstick Lover. Yes.
All right.
And it's just I love it. I love this phase for Janelle Monáe. I love it.
Something, and this goes out to all the women who love women and aren't TERFs.
Exactly.
Or otherwise crazy. Here's Janelle Monáe. We'll be right back.
My lipstick lover, lover, lover. I like lipstick on my neck. You let me know I'm your number one select. I like lipstick on my neck. Hands around my waist so you know what's coming next. I wanna feel your lips on mine. I just wanna feel a little tongue. We don't have a long time. Ooh, you're talking nasty and I like it. Whisper in my ear, only me you can hear. I've seen it from the back and I'm excited. Tell me what you do when we walk up in the room. Yeah, hold me something nasty, we can try it. Bite me on my neck and you know what's coming next. We can make a movie, I can write it. Let's just make a move, baby. Cause for your love, I'll take my time. Just wanna feel your hips on mine. I really got a thing for my lipstick lover, 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 lover. I'll do anything for my lipstick lover, 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 lover.
Medway Pride is back Saturday the 19th of August at Rochester Castle with performances by Jodie as Kylie, singer-songwriter Vicky Jackson, Tanya Alboni as Cher, drag performer Mary O'Cart, UK #1 tribute to Pink, drag performer Mary Golds, singer of My Tyra McDonald, voice finalist Jamie Johnson, and our headliner, winner of the X Factor, Sam Bailey, hosted by Craig Atwater and Jay Goddard. For more information on tickets, visit medwaypride.co.uk.
And we're back.
We're back.
Let's quickly get through the cavalcade of nonsense.
Sure. So this is happening way too much for my taste. I think we should change the headline of this to hockey players are the most bitch-made punks in professional sports.
Well, but see, I've seen both sides of the story, but go ahead.
NHL teams won't wear theme night jerseys after players' LGBTQ pride refusals. So NHL teams won't wear special jerseys for pregame warm-ups during themed nights next season. The result
For
of it.
pregame warm-ups.
During themed nights next season, the result of a handful of players refusing to use rainbow-colored pride jerseys this past season and causing unwelcome distractions. Whatever. Just put on the goddamn jersey. Like, the fuck? Who is it hurting? No, I can't. Bitch made punks. I said it.
Teams will still celebrate Pride and other theme nights, including Military Appreciation and Hockey Fights Cancer. They're also expected to still design and produce jerseys to be autographed and sold to raise money, even though players won't skate around with them on during warm-ups. You Can Play, which has worked with sports and leagues, including the NHL, to help them grow more inclusive for members of the LGBTQ community, said it was concerned and disappointed by the decision.
Yeah.
Quote, today's decision means that over 95% of players who chose to wear a Pride jersey to support the community will now not get an opportunity to do so. Again, because of a few ignorant motherfuckers.
Bitch made punks.
Yeah. The work to make locker rooms, boardrooms, and arenas safer, more diverse, and more inclusive needs to be ongoing and purposeful. And we will continue to work with our partners at the NHL, including individual teams, players, agents, and the NHLPA, to ensure the critical work continues, even though they just told us to fuck off.
That part.
Huh. Okay. I added that part, by the way.
I heard it.
You know what our goals, our values, and our intentions are across the league, whether it's at the league level or at the club level.
Do we?
Somebody said at the time.
Commissioner Gary Bettman.
Thank you.
Of the league's board of governors.
Thank you. Defended their handling of the situation. We also have to respect some individual choice. And some people are more comfortable embracing themselves in causes than others. And part of being diverse and welcoming is understanding those differences. No, it isn't. No, it isn't.
So wait, part of being diverse and accepting
is saying that white nationalists are the same.
Right.
Is saying that bigoted fucking white nationalist Christians are exactly the same as the people that they target. And we have to consider all points of view. That's what he just said.
So now we're all lives mattering homophobia.
We are. Yes, we are.
The NHL are a bunch of bitch made punks. I said it.
Yeah. Some jackass cited his religion.
Mm-hmm.
Another one cited their religious beliefs. Of course, here's both sides now. Thank you, NBC. Anti-gay Kremlin law as a reason.
Why do you need your religion to slap a little puck across the ice with a crooked stick?
You know what?
Get it past a
you know
toothless
what?
man?
You know what? Don't fucking bother. Don't fucking bother. It's the back of the goddamn bus. Don't bother at all. We'll find our own ride.
Right.
Don't bother.
Oh.
And don't fucking lecture me about diversity and inclusion and how this is the same thing. Don't dare.
I know.
Don't you dare. Just keep us out your mouth.
And keep it pushing.
And don't fucking create the jerseys to begin with.
Right.
You fucking hypocrites.
Right. Who are you doing a favor to?
Fuck off.
You know?
Oh my God.
Who are you even doing a favor to?
Nobody. Nobody told us rainbow capitalism would be hard.
I know, right? Oh, you'll enjoy this. Elon Musk. This is, I saw this. Ban the word.
Enjoyed. It's such a strong word right now. Go ahead.
Ban the word cisgender from Twitter and calls it a slur.
I have had the turf I mentioned earlier got offended when I used the word cisgender. Actual term, folks. Not a slur at all.
It's literally.
Any more than transgender is a slur.
Right. It's literally the Latin antonym.
Yeah, on the side of rather than across from.
Right.
That's all. It's all it means. We've been using it as a term for, more than 100 years.
Right.
And, I'm sorry that you don't like it.
I mean, first we don't know the parts of a sentence, so now we don't know what an antonym is. Up versus down. Forward versus backwards. Cis versus trans. It's literally...
Well, it's not a versus even. It's just, right. It's a descriptor.
Right, that's what I'm saying. But like an antonym is this or that. That's literally all it is.
Well, an antonym is the opposite of.
Right.
And
It's
again,
the opposite.
it's not the opposite. It's on the side of versus across from. That's actually what the term means. On the side of.
Right. Near versus far. I mean, that's really all that is.
Well, right. But it's not, I don't even know that they're not antonyms. They're descriptors.
Well, in Latin, trans and cis are antonyms.
Are they?
Yeah, that's all. That's literally all it is. It's just one word and another word.
Well, I know that, but
they act like, because
I learned antonyms were like the opposite of. And I don't think it means the opposite of. That's not what I think it means. But okay, I'm parsing words probably. I'm tired. But yeah,
But when you're not used to having to quantify or qualify your existence in any way whatsoever, any kind of descriptive.
Can you imagine being so rich that you think you get to eliminate words?
Right.
Or is this from Twitter?
Yes.
I mean, he kind of does get to do that, I guess. Because he's defined it as a slur. So what does he do if someone types the word cisgender? Like you get blocked or banned from
ultimately,
Twitter?
yeah.
Wow.
So I
thought this was about more free speech.
What's under the sewer?
I do not know.
Because that's where Twitter is now. It's under the sewer.
Santorum? Smegma?
Oh, God. No, I feel like that's in the sewer.
Well,
that's where it ends up.
Eventually. I mean, if it gets wiped off. Or scraped off.
Okay, ew.
I know.
But yeah, fuck Elon Musk. Show me on the doll where words hurt you.
Oh, my God. And this jackoff has a trans kid.
That part.
How disgusting.
Well, you wouldn't know by them.
What a fucking ego. What a fucking ego. Oh, my God.
You wouldn't know he had a trans kid by said trans kid because...
Well, that's true.
They're like, I'm out, Jack.
Yeah, your kid actually doesn't seem to give a shit how much money you have.
I don't know her.
Right? Right.
As the kid said
it's
of Elon
a slur.
Yeah.
So calling you what you literally are is a slur.
Yeah.
Huh. Okay.
I don't know what words mean. They scare me.
And we're the delicate ones. We're the snowflakes.
That part.
Yeah. How about it? I don't see us getting all.
Sure.
Yeah, but saying that there's actually a word for you too blows their fucking minds. Like, if we're going to describe how I am gendered, there's a word that describes how you are gendered, honey. It's just a word.
I had a bottle thrown at me in broad daylight on a street corner from a passing car where two words were hurled at me, one starting with an N and one starting with an F, and I managed to move on with my day.
Which did they put first?
The N word.
Ah.
Yeah.
I just wondered.
Yeah. It was kind of like they made it one word.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Maybe
there was a hyphen. I don't know. But
there could have been.
My point is,
it was misspelled. You know it was.
I was able to go through my day.
Yeah. Yeah.
This motherfucker can't handle being called what he actually is.
I know. They could. Oof. Let's trade places for, I don't know, an hour. I'll show you what to do with billions of dollars, and you can show the world how to be me without crumbling.
I've said it many times. All these people, if they had to be one of us for 20 minutes inside of 15, they would be rocking back and forth in the corner.
It's true. And as they are, literally, metaphorically, he is rocking back and forth in a corner right now.
Words exist.
Banning a word. Mm-hmm. Okay.
And I bet you if you said point on the doll where the word hurt you, he would point at the motherfucking doll. Anyway,
So wait, where's the Schadenfreude in that? Has there been backlash?
We were not in Schadenfreude. We're in Cavalcade.
Oh, that's right. I was looking for Schadenfreude because there is Schadenfreude in this next one. So I forgot where we were.
Right. Go ahead.
Republicans are engaged in a brutal culture war with itself. I think it should be themselves. Now, it's a recipe for an endless feeding frenzy. This is an opinion piece out of LGBT Nation, but I'll take it. The right wing has turned its sights inward. To enforce ideological purity, a subgroup of the extremists is intent on attacking some of the key institutions and figures on the right as being insufficiently committed to the cause. There was a whole article, by the way, of all the places they can't eat now, including Cracker Barrel.
Which is ironic as hell.
This. I love it. I love it. Yeah, all these, this whole list of restaurants. That...
What's the white version of the Green Book?
The Bible.
Oh, shit.
To enforce ideological purity, a subgroup of the extremists is intent on attacking some of the key institutions and figures on the right as being insufficiently committed to the cause. It's the right's version of cancel culture, except they only cancel their own. One of the most ludicrous displays of this infighting occurred just last week when Daily Wire host Matt Walsh, that motherfucker, proclaimed that Fox Corp was promoting glory holes. I love it when they eat their own. Of course, the connection between the right-wing broadcast outlet and gay sex in bathrooms was much more tenuous than Walsh let on. As part of Pride Month, Fox Corp, the parent company of Fox News, encouraged employees to read Fairest, a memoir by trans writer Meredith Talisman. The book happens to include a description of a glory hole, which Walsh interpreted as a how-to meant to indoctrinate employees. How fucking good. Does he think everyone in the world is as gullible as he is? Is that what it is?
Not to mention, I know for a fact that Republican men don't need a how-to on how to use a glory hole.
No shit. Turning Point USA founder Charlie Kirk promptly jumped on the outrage bandwagon, looking up glory hole on his laptop. Oh, I doubt he had to look it up. On his show to prove his ignorance of the term, and describe how disgusted he was by it. I don't understand. Wait, so then why is Fox... They're subsidizing glory holes for their employees?
Subsidizing.
Oh my God, they will. Oh my God.
Does he think there's a store?
People don't turn this shit off. You know what? These motherfuckers at least are making money. They're getting paid for this. You're going to have to take out so many words from Midway Pride this week. Wow.
Do they think there's a glory hole store? Like, what do they think a glory hole is?
Just to be clear, glory holes are not part of the employee benefits package of Fox Corporation. Indeed, no one would mistake Fox News as being remotely pro-LGBTQ+.
Now, that's a diverse benefits package.
The same day that Walsh was fulminating, a word we don't use often enough, on Twitter, Fox News published a tweet saying that the pride flag showed support for grooming and pedophilia. Fox News isn't the only organization suspected of being insufficiently hateful. Chick-fil-A is feeling the wrath of ultra-conservatives for being woke. Yes, the fast food franchise that made a name for itself by donating to anti-LGBTQ groups. Because the company has made some modest contributions to diversity and inclusion groups, they have, in the words of one critic, chosen the side of evil over the Christian community on whom they built their fortune. How's it feel? The quest to be the purest culture warrior has peaked in Michigan, where even the farthest right members of the GOP are being excommunicated as liberal squishes. There, I love this. I love this whole piece. That's why I'm reading the whole thing. There are Republicans Republicans who have sued the state over mask mandates and insist the 2016 election was stolen from Trump. He won that one. Are still being I think they meant the 2020. Are still being branded as Republicans in name only. That would be rhinos in a fierce inter-party fight. This is more MAGA on MAGA violence, or more MAGA versus ultra MAGA. Jeff Timmer, a former executive director of the state Republican Party, told the Washington Post.
Squishes.
The fight over who is the most ideologically pure goes straight to the top of the party, of course. Trump, who set the standard by branding anyone who disagreed with him as a traitor.
Yep.
And rhino. He's called his primary opponent for the presidential nomination, Ron DeSantis, a rhino globalist. DeSantis has returned the attack, tying Trump to Dr. Anthony Fauci, who's despised on the right for his role in responding to the COVID epidemic.
With facts and things.
Ultimately, the obsession with purity is about power. There it is, children.
Yep.
The threat of violating the prevailing ideology is meant to keep institutions in line. The problem is that there is no arbiter of purity to determine what is acceptable and what is not. Instead, they will search for every possible betrayal. Bud Light, Target, or anything at all. Any MAGA fanatic can declare, through some bizarre reasoning, that a person or outfit is promoting woke ideology or even glory holes. The base has been so trained to look for such betrayals from the elite that they have come to expect them. The base has also been trained never to forgive. It's a recipe for an endless feeding frenzy. In a way, it's also a farce, as the fringes push even farther to the fringe. Unfortunately, they are determined to take the entire nation with them.
I'm sorry.
Well said.
I'm just picturing like a baseball stadium.
John Gallagher was the author by the way.
And someone like coming down the stands in like a striped jacket and like a toilet seat cocked on one side of his head, screaming, "Glory holes, get your glory holes here." Get them while they're hot. Get them while they're buttered.
You know, and my thing is, I think glory holes are totally a Republican thing.
Okay.
Out gay men don't generally need, unless it's their thing,
right,
a glory hole, because they're actually willing to meet men face to face to negotiate sex. They don't need the anonymity of a glory hole.
Unless they like the anonymity.
Unless that's a thing. Yeah, unless that's their kink. Republicans, on the other hand, you know, the ones who crash Grindr every time, you know,
they come to a town.
They gather in a town. Those motherfuckers, glory holes were designed probably by and for them. Well, no, they were designed, but they have perpetuated them. How's that? How's that? Because I think it's a great way for somebody who's really oral to suck off a bunch of Republicans at once.
Yeah.
Yeah. In a bookstore in Miami, for instance.
Wow, what a completely random and disconnected metaphor.
I'm not going to go any further, but yeah, that was neither one of us. But
no,
yeah, we
not.
traveled with someone who frequented the local bookstore.
I just have a question.
As a receptacle. What? What?
Facts. I just have a question about glory holes.
What is your question?
When are people installing these glory holes? Like, because you need a piece of equipment to make that big ass hole, especially in public men's rooms where it's like a wood.
Okay, bookstores are built with them.
Yeah, but I'm talking about like
the mall, at the mall.
Yes,
I don't know. Somebody had a cordless drill with a hole saw,
and nobody
or something, and sandpaper.
That.
I hope to smooth the edges.
I'm saying
I don't know.
That's work.
I don't know. Not my thing.
But that's always
never my thing.
That's always been a question. Like the first time I actually saw one in real life in a public men's room, I was like, that required time and silence. Like
I hope it's somebody that works there. I'm sorry. if I happen to be in a stall, first of all, I no longer go into stalls in men's room. But if I happen to be in a stall in, like, I don't know, a genderless bathroom, and a penis came at me through a hole in the wall, I'm gonna flick it. I am not gonna lick it. Right? I'm gonna make it sting. Just cuz? What are you doing? Oh, I'm sorry. You want me to know you're hard right now? I can disabuse you of that fast. Flick.
No.
Right.
No.
I'm just gonna slap that fucker until you go away. I don't know what you think is gonna happen, but it won't be that. No, honey. Nowhere. Like, I don't even, and I cannot imagine someone. I just, like, that takes so much trust.
Thank you.
In a way that I guess I don't trust anyone.
Thank you.
No. Ew.
Thank you.
No.
Oh my God.
And don't do, no.
Don't
No, I would stuff that hole. Like, if I, like, while I'm putting paper on the toilet seat, I'm stuffing the hole because I don't want to be bothered.
Exactly.
That's not why I'm there. I am not there to meet people. Of all the places I have ever gone to meet people, it has never been a restroom. Never, ever. Nope. Not unless I already know you.
Exactly.
No.
Meet up, maybe. Meet,
right?
No.
Right? No. Not a tea dance. No.
I do remember the first time I encountered a glory hole in
I don't think
in the
I
wild.
ever have, by the way.
Only actually once or twice, but this was in a mall. I forget which mall. And I open the stall and I'm not paying attention. I step in and then I happen to look down and see a big gaping hole in the wall. I very much zipped up, backed out, went to the next one over because that wall was intact.
Yeah. Right? See, that's all I'm saying. Like, oh, no. That's, no. That random desperate shit is no.
Exactly.
It's so like, I don't know, early 60s or something.
You know?
Or Republican. It's so Republican.
Oh, you know what I'm thinking of? The second time was not a glory hole. The second time, I'm in the bathroom in Liberty Place in the food court. And I'm in the stall. And the guy who was at the urinal on the other side of the stall wall had his face pressed against the crack, but like there's the wall of the stall and then the wall of the building, and like the little gap that's between the two, had his face smushed up against that space to try and see me pee.
Wow.
Yeah.
Huh. That's fun.
I mean, by the time he found a good angle, I was done and out of there anyway, but still. I put those two thoughts together because glory hole.
And if he'd have offered you a 20, he'd have had a better view.
Maybe.
Probably. I mean, if that's all he wanted, right? Money first, but yeah, watch. Go ahead.
I never thought of it that way.
I'm just saying, well, you're pee shy a little bit.
Maybe.
Yeah.
How the fuck did... Oh, glory holes, right.
There was a time in my life I would absolutely have, publicly peed for $20. $20 went a lot further in the 80s than it does today. I'm just saying, that was like gas and breakfast on the way home.
Not on the way home.
No, for real. Well, I'm just saying, like, $20 did a lot. $40 did a lot more. That's what, but yeah, just saying.
I think it's time for a break.
Let's take a break and then cleanse our palates.
Yeah,
with some pop culture.
That
we'll be right back.
Mm-hmm.
Let's see. No. I'm not ready to watch that yet. You know what? I'll just watch this again. Do you ever find yourself doom scrolling your streamer looking for something to watch, but just end up rewatching the same shows over and over again? Hi, I'm Dustin, and welcome to the Rewatch Recap, a show where guests and I rewatch every episode in a TV season or a classic TV movie to see if it holds up, and making fun of the parts that don't. So come on, rewatchers, let's revisit these shows together every Monday on the Rewatch Recap, wherever podcasts are played.
And we're back.
We're back.
With a fresh glass of Caucasian whimpering. White wine. I'm drinking white wine. So let's cleanse our palates, shall we?
Damn it.
So I binge watched season 2 of The Bear.
Yes, you did.
On Hulu.
Okay.
I believe it's an FX series.
Yes.
And I went and I watched season 1 all at once. You said it was too deep, too dark, too something.
No, it was too stressful.
Too stressful. That was your right. So I watched it and I loved it.
And it's crazy.
The actor whose name you could look up right now, the actor from Shameless, who I adore, is the lead in The Bear, and he's fabulous, and it's so well done. And Oliver Platt is in it.
Jeremy Allen White.
That's him, Jeremy Allen White. And then they did, you know what was stressful, and it was stressful for me. They did a 1-hour episode during the season where his mother was played by Jamie Lee Curtis. And there were many other faces very famous people who showed up in the family scene. And it was like the most stressful Christmas dinner ever. And that includes my family, and that's a stretch.
Damn.
I mean, we've had actual physical beatings at Thanksgiving. So to
Luckily not when I was there.
No, this predates you. But it was really like, that was a lot. But otherwise, totally binged it. Watched the season in a day and a half this weekend. Loved it.
Yeah, I mean, it's good.
I loved it. I love the story. I love because it's about the restaurant industry, which, I also have a love-hate relationship with.
Right.
And spent 5 years owning a bar and countless years waiting on people. And I just, fun.
Well, those are the scenes that were stressful to me, like the lines, like 5 minutes, yeah, chef. Like it was just too much. But it's funny, like the way you felt when I was trying to watch Kitchen Nightmares. You were like, this is too stressful for me.
Right. Well, that's because that's like reality. I mean, I realize it's imposed, but it's not drama. It's created drama.
I feel like the way you felt with Kitchen Nightmares is how I was feeling with The Bear.
See, but when I know it's fiction,
okay,
provided it's not horror,
right?
When I know it's fiction, I watch it in a different way.
Okay, that's fair.
If that makes sense.
It's just the way it's and it's designed to be as stressful as it is, and so they do a good job with that.
Yeah, I mean, here is the dichotomy of me. I loved it.
I mean, it was well done. Like the pacing of the editing and the sound design really added to the tension. It's well done.
Have we seen all of season 2 of Somebody Somewhere?
Yes.
Have we seen?
We finished it.
We did.
A while ago.
Was that season 2 or 3?
2, 3. I don't know.
We're caught up.
Yes.
Because I adore that.
I think it was season 2.
I feel like it.
Season 2.
Okay. I feel like it was season 3, but either way, that was good.
However many there were, we saw them all.
Well, and I like The Bear similarly.
Okay.
I enjoyed it.
I enjoyed the next to the last episode.
Yeah, you did.
That was really well done. That was good television.
I think the whole season was well done.
Like the way they crafted it, like all of these things happen and you're feeling one way, and then at the literal turn of like flip of a coin, like everything the opposite happened just as quickly. It was so good. But oh my God.
Well, it made me, you were working and it made me forego SVU.
I know. I was impressed.
Yeah, because I totally was turning on SVU, And I went, this is how we're spending Saturday.
Well, good for
And
you.
so I did. Most of yesterday was, and then I finished it up.
Look at you watching literally anything else.
Or most of Friday. I don't know, but I watched The Bear in its entirety. Season 2. I recommend it.
It's well done. It really is. Now,
And he's really good.
Yeah.
Really good.
Speaking of things which are well done, here's something that isn't. I officially gave up on this season of Drag Race.
Oh, thank Christ.
All Stars.
Finally.
Season 8. I couldn't fucking take it anymore. The chicanery. So all goddamn season long.
When you don't remember them from the show to begin with, how do you call it All Stars?
It was some star.
Why don't they call it Everyone Left Who Agrees to Our Ridiculous Terms?
That's really what it was.
That should be the title of All Stars.
I mean, okay, so Heidi and here's the thing. Heidi in Closet, I was excited to see her. She left. Mm-hmm. Then I was excited to see.
I thought no one left All Stars.
No, that was the winter season. No, they be kicking bitches off left and right on regular All Stars.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
okay.
or they vote each other off.
Oh, so she got voted off.
She left of her own accord.
Oh,
yeah,
much like Willem or something.
Depends on who you ask with Willem.
I know we'll never know.
Well, he straight up said
he has told several stories.
Apparently the true story is he had booked a show that coincided with the season, and he was going to do as much of the show as he could and then get kicked off the show to do his show, and he did.
Maybe,
but
the story he told us immediately after, in person, face to face, was something about I let my boyfriend in or some bullshit.
That was the public story.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, he was still telling that one.
Yeah. But the story has since been come out.
When he was doing, the tour with Vicky Vox and
Detox.
And Detox. That was the story.
Yes. Detox, who sang the N-word over a live microphone in a crowded space.
Yeah, that also happened that same night. But
also apologized, made a point of coming over and apologizing to me for doing it.
Thanks now.
I mean, actually what she said was, I'm sorry for being ridiculous. That's what she said. I knew what she meant, so fine.
She meant racist. She said ridiculous.
She said ridiculous.
I meant R word. I'm looking for an R word. We haven't heard much out of Detox at all in the last, I don't know how many years, so okay.
No, she's still
Is she?
touring and doing the thing.
All right.
Yeah.
I haven't heard much out of it, but I hadn't before.
Yeah, she's fabulous.
Met her that once.
Yeah.
She was fine.
Oh, she's glowed up several times since then.
She was fine. Other than that was a little much. But they were drinking heavily.
I believe Vicky Vox poured a huge shot of salted caramel vodka down my throat at the said function.
Happened.
Yes.
Right. And Willem called you on the phone. So there you go.
That's true. Come get these mashed potatoes, bitch.
When the hell are you getting here? Because she's like, why are you sitting alone? Because my date is teaching right now. Call him.
Yep.
That happened too, so that was fun.
And then, do you know who this is? And I was like, Fifi fucking O'Hara.
I was like, hey, Willem.
Right. I was like, oh, hey, Willem. I knew where I was going that night.
So that was fun.
That was fun.
Because that was back in the day.
Right. Before production put their grubby mitts all over this goddamn show.
2013, somewhere in there.
2012, we would have had to.
Yeah, probably.
Yeah.
So we're talking,
Right. So all the people that I like have left the show.
Okay.
Either got kicked off or walked off of their own accord, like Heidi in Closet. And this last week I couldn't take it because it was down to Lala Ree, who was one of the last ones that I like, and Candy Muse, who, as I have said several times, her voice makes me want to knuckle punch a baby in the throat. I can't stand that bitch. Anyway. So Alexis Michelle has said from day one how she loves Lala and how publicly has a crush on her. And they even said back and forth, if you're in the bottom, then I'll save you because you saved me and I'll never forget it. said that multiple occasions. It was down to Lalaurie and Candy Muse. They both had the exact same track record, never been in the bottom before, each had 2 wins. You said, I will save you if you're in the bottom because you saved me and I'll never forget it. And who did she send home? Lala goddamn Ree. And I said, that's it. I'm out.
Oh, I'm sorry. Did you not know how drag culture actually works?
That had the stinky, the stink finger of production all over it. If
Okay,
you're
maybe,
because so did everything else.
maybe. Have we heard anything since?
They weren't going to get rid of Candy Muse because
No.
RuPaul
I'm
loves her
asking you.
too much.
Have we like because you listen to all the podcasts and all the shit and all the. Have we heard anything since?
Not yet, because the episode aired on Friday and the podcast that cover it.
Okay, so
that I
you
listen to
think
don't come
this
out
was
till Wednesday.
nefarious production?
I do,
Okay,
because
I've
they
met-
were not.
I have met some of these bitches in the dressing room. I'm gonna go 50-50.
I mean,
till I hear more.
You might be right, but they weren't going to get rid of Candy Muse because RuPaul loves Candy Muse too much. Because in Candy Muse's season, she had gotten eliminated. She had to sashay away, and she was halfway up the runway, and RuPaul was like, wait, Candy, I'm not ready to let you go yet. She ain't going to let her get kicked off early.
Did she?
No, they saved Candy Muse. And part of this is because I can't stand Candy Muse. I just cannot.
You seem very involved for someone who's done.
Well, I am done. This is the last.
Deeply
This is the last I'm going to talk about it because you won't hear me.
Knowledgeable. You promise?
Well, I mean,
you just said it.
I did.
You promise?
I will not be watching the season. I will watch the pit stop because I like Bianca Del Rio.
This comes with caveats.
I will get my highlights, but I'm not watching.
So you're mad at one episode.
I've been mad at several episodes.
Oh, okay. So you're mad at several episodes. You are not mad at the show.
I am mad at the show. This season is
I gave up on the
shitty.
show. Once I found out about the contract, I was kind of like, you know what?
Well, you gave up before the contract.
Enough.
But that didn't help.
Well, it gave me a reason.
Yeah.
I'm just, you know what?
Well, I had put a moratorium on the show for a while because
I do not hate drag.
Of course.
I do not hate drag queens. I was a drag queen.
Yes.
I was a headliner.
It's true.
But
Well, see, I had stopped watching the show.
I still haven't figured out if it's good for us or bad for us. But go ahead.
I had stopped watching the show for several years once I heard Delta Work on Willem and Alaska's podcast talking about what happened to her when she got a little mouthy with RuPaul. And like that was just the last story that I needed to hear about how RuPaul treats the girls. Like I've been hearing all these stories and I've been like, oh, well, you know, but that was the last straw for me. I stopped watching. I didn't watch season 12, 13, 14, 15. I didn't see none of that shit. UK, Holland, none of that. But I watched All Stars because I already cared about those queens and it was the queens that I cared about. But anyway, I, for whatever reason, started watching the show again and started getting back into it. But remembering all the things that I remembered about what I knew. And it's just as more like they started getting Emmys and Golden Globes and then they start feeling themselves and then they start amping up the production and it's going to start eating itself. I think what people are saying is true. They should just let Sasha Colby take over.
You know, all of this,
Or Alaska.
dear God, all of this has me connecting things that probably shouldn't be connected.
Oh boy.
Before there was Drag Race, we did not have this onslaught of legislation. And I was told that Drag Race was helpful and was bringing queer culture to the mainstream.
I mean,
I'm just saying that, you know,
two things can be true at the same time.
I guess, but it hasn't been great here on the ground.
But there have been
Since
a lot
Drag
of
Race was a thing. And it's not great for the queens. Very few of them actually, you know, profit well.
I mean, that part is. I mean, the smart ones who know how to market have done quite well.
Okay. I didn't say all of them. I said, I mean, some have.
Yeah.
And some have not.
I mean, the folks off the show are running the gamut. You have, you know, Bianca and Willem in Alaska and all these queens like doing so well.
First
and then
of all,
you have
Bianca and Willem were smart as fuck before they ever went on Drag Race. They had careers. They were doing the stuff. They were funny well before they ever appeared on Drag Race. So you can only amplify talent.
And then you have Tyra Sanchez being arrested and tased at a traffic stop.
Well, and that. I'm just over it. Because, you know, RuPaul did that Netflix show. And then I realized.
AJ and the Queen.
That one. And I went, oh my God, honey, you're empty. You're just empty.
I think AJ stood for, Jesus, this bitch can't act.
I was like, yeah, everything I wanted to think about you. Like, you got the words, but not the soul. I don't know. I mean, that contract is bullshit. The show is heavily edited.
It's ridiculous.
And I'm just like, it's so much drama about so much drama at a time when the last thing we need is more drama. I'm tired of reality, let alone that shit.
Yeah, I'm over it.
Well, this particular season. All right, I'll take it.
Yeah, I haven't seen a new season in a minute.
Okay.
So yeah, that's it. That's me.
Well, there's pop culture for you.
And it's not just me. This is the most heavily maligned season of Drag Race ever. Like across the board.
That.
No, it really is.
I doubt that.
Nobody is happy about this goddamn season.
Okay.
Let's just say Jimbo won so we can knock it off with the pretending in the episode.
I'm just so bored with that.
This fucking season. All right. Why don't we do some podcast business?
That'd be great.
If you haven't already, go to Apple Podcasts or Good Pods or wherever you enjoy our show and drop us a rating, a review, or hit that subscribe button. 5 stars or more, please. If you have a story idea or some gossip or just want to say hi, drop us a line at askfullcirclepod@gmail.com. Follow us on social at Full Circle Pod on Twitter, at Full Circle The Pod on Instagram, at Full Circle The Podcast on TikTok. Martha is at iMarthaMadrigal everywhere. Her writing is IamMarthaMadrigal.wordpress.com. I am at Never Scared everywhere. Or you can just visit our Linktree, linktree.com/FullCircleThePod for all that and more. You could also consider becoming a patron of Full Circle the Podcast by visiting our Patreon, patreon.com/FullCircleThePod. Starting at the $3 a month tier, you can have all of our episodes ad-free and before everyone else. And then starting at the $6 a month tier, you can have access to our behind-the-scenes and bonus material. And it only gets better from there. It's fun over at the Patreon. And you can also check us out on our Discord, Full Circle the Podcast. Podcast business over. Having said that.
Yeah, it's late in the evening.
Okay, Paul Simon.
Right? I love that song.
Paula Simone.
I love that song so much. But anyway, anything else on your spirit this evening?
We should herald good sense and intelligence and make being smart cool again.
Okay. And peace on earth and goodwill to men and
Yeah, that.
Yeah, all of that. I will agree with you. That's
all I got.
It's Sunday evening.
It is.
I think we should go sit on the porch and, what I call it, have a glass of
Caucasian whimpering.
That's it. Or another glass of Sauvignon Blanc. In the meantime, kids, I am so appreciative that you've spent another evening with us. I am Martha Madrigal.
And I am Charles Tyson Jr.
And you've been listening to Full Circle,
the podcast.
Thank you, and we will see you next week.
Bye, everyone. Full Circle is a Never Scared Productions podcast, hosted by Charles Tyson Jr. and Martha Madrigal, produced and edited by Never Scared, executive produced by Charles Tyson Jr. and Martha Madrigal. Our theme and music is by the Jingleberries. All names, pictures, music, audio, and video clips are registered trademarks and/or copyrights of their respective copyright holders.